page turners, welcome back to another video. This time we're starting another book because it's still Deafblind Awareness Week this week. So we're going to be reading Give Me a Sign, which is about the young girl who goes to the camp for deaf and blind children, and she meets someone there, so maybe there might be some romance, but let's find out together with the very first chapter. Chapter 1. No one knows my deafness as well as I do. There isn't a single test that can truly get inside my head and understand how I'm experiencing the world. Doctors, parents and strangers like to chime in with their assumptions, but after 17 years, I'm still figuring it all out. My annual audiology appointment is every January. My mum and I are driving through melting mounds of snow to get there. She won't let me do this alone because she doesn't trust me to be on top of things, especially after I got my full semester report card this morning. We agreed you could stop using the FM system so long as your grades didn't slip. It's not the first time we've fought about this wireless device I'm supposed to use in class. My mum stares straight ahead as she drives down the highway, and I have to crane my neck to read her lips. Are you proud of getting straight C's, Lila? Half of my teachers practically refuse to wear it anyway, I mumble. It's too much of a hassle. Then you have to remind them to use it. She sighs and says something about outlined in your IEP. It isn't in there? I ask, not sure I heard correctly. It is, my mum repeats, turning to face me. So you need to use it. We didn't pay for it to sit in a case all year. I wanted high school to be different, but these past few years have been rough. When my teachers use the FM system, it brings their voices directly into my hearing aids, making their words louder but not necessarily clearer. All these necessary accommodations bring attention to me, which I hate. So instead of pointing out that I need closed captions whenever we watch a video, I sit there quietly. I don't catch most of what's being said, and I fail the quiz on the material afterwards. Plus, teachers accuse me of talking during class whenever I try to ask the person next to me to repeat what the assignment is, after struggling to follow the lesson in the first place. So I get another bad grade. Every day is exhausting. And you've been skipping your group meetings with the hearing itinerant? My mum asks. Those are not fun. An hour each week I'm forced to learn how to advocate for myself, which often boils down to a reminder to sit in the front row. How am I supposed to get better grades if I'm pulled from class? My mum can't think of a response to that one. She clenches her teeth and turns carefully into the hospital's salt-covered parking lot. We wait in the lobby for my audiologist. A toddler fitted with 2 large hearing aids runs across the room. His parents are trying to hide the fact that they're observing me closely. I'm used to the stares, especially here, since I'm one of the oldest patients at this children's centre. It's possible this kid and his family have never seen someone my age with hearing aids before. They wonder what he'll be like when he grows up. When I was young, I didn't really know any older deaf people either, until I went to summer camp. My audiologist brings us back for my hearing test, and I take a seat in an office chair positioned in the middle of the dark grey enclosed sound booth. This space doesn't exactly scream comfort. To the outside observer, this may seem like a strange little room. There's a creepy animatronic monkey on the shelf in the corner, with its symbols hanging lifeless since it's used when testing little kids. The wide metal door to my right seals this chamber shut. I wish I were alone. Instead, my mum sits on an identical chair against the back wall, holding her purse, silently observing. I steady my hands together in my lap, resisting the urge to crack my knuckles. My audiologist, Miss Shelley, a cheerful presence throughout the years, has me remove my hearing aids. They're now sitting on a tissue at the side table to my left. She leaves the booth and takes a seat on the other side, looking at me through a small window. She turns on background clatter and loud crashing sounds, supposedly reminiscent of daily life surrounding me, as I struggle through the chaos to decipher words she says into a microphone. Say the word baseball. Miss Shelley's voice is initially set loud enough to rival the noise. Baseball? I answer, my voice funny in my throat. I suspect I whispered my response. People tell me I speak too loudly, but whenever I'm focused on the volume of my voice, it comes out too quiet. I cough to clear my throat, wondering why I'm nervous. I've done this every year of my life. It's nothing new. Say the word hot dog. Hot dog! Whoops, sort of yelled that one. I need to settle into a happy medium. The chair scratches my thighs as I shift to relax my shoulders and stare ahead. But my audiologist is holding an envelope over her mouth so I can't read her lips. She keeps gradually lowering the volume now, so it's projected at a level that isn't necessarily comfortable or effortless to hear. Say the word ice cream. Ice cream. I'm still confident enough in the words to repeat them, but it gets more difficult. Miss Shelley increases the background noise, and I almost can't tell if she's still speaking. She's been drowned out by the roar. From the familiarity, I recognise, say the word, yet I can't make out the rest. I scrunch my nose and tilt my head to the side. Definitely didn't catch this one. It was... no. I'm supposed to give my best guess, but I can't even think of a word similar to what I heard. A hint of frustration rises within me. It's my hearing being graded, not me. This is the point in a typical conversation where I proclaim my most often used word, what? As many times as it'd take for a person to get their message across. It's best when someone could switch up their wording to help me along. The greater the context, the more likely I am to pick up on what I'm missing. However, right now, there is no context. Only background noise and an elusive word. At least this is better than the frequency test. I swear by the end of that one I'm imagining beeps that don't exist. I give up and shrug. What's another failed test at this rate? Miss Shelley continues. Another 20 or so words later, she finally puts down the envelope and gives me a smile while shutting off the background noise and returning her voice volume to full blast. Great job, Lila. We'll move on. She enters my side of the booth, her laminated ID badge dangling from her neck, and sticks various diagnostic tools in my ears and on my head. Throughout several rounds of different examinations, I suppress the urge to compare this to an alien abduction. When it's all over, Miss Shelley returns and leads us out of the sound booth and over to her office, where I usually get fitted for new ear molds and have my hearing aid levels adjusted. We take a seat around a small side table. My mum pulls her chair forward so they can crowd together over my results. I sit back, a little anxious, though there hasn't been any reason to be yet. My hearing loss, which I've had since birth, isn't supposed to be degenerative. My mum frowns at the printout. I scramble to push in my hearing aids, looping the backs over and behind my ears. Wearing them helps, but they're never going to be a perfect fix. What people don't understand is that while I'm wearing my hearing aids, there's still a lot that I miss. And without them, there's still a lot I could catch by relying on lip reading and deductive reasoning. We peer at the audiogram as my audiologist points to the zigzag lines trailing downward along the bottom half of the graph. The results are from my left and right ears are close together, a fairly even loss against both sides. So we've had a small dip since last time, Miss Shelley explains seriously, but then she smiles. I wouldn't be too worried about it. All the more reason for her to use her accommodations for school, my mum says. There is a newer FM she might prefer. Miss Shelley reaches back to her desk to get a pamphlet for my mum, bypassing other ones that showcase different hearing aid brands or ear mold colour options. Look how cool! It's sleek and modern. But I don't care. While they discuss the pros, cons and cost of a newer model, bemoaning the lack of insurance coverage, I stare back at the audiogram. I've always wondered what an additional loss would feel like. I'm not upset about it. If anything, I'm annoyed it's not more significant. To hearies, this may seem weird, I can't really express why I feel this way, other than it might be nice to not stay caught in between. Like, if I had to choose between fully hearing or fully deaf, I'm not certain my decision would be obvious. And maybe if the loss were profound, my family would be forced to finally take learning American Sign Language seriously. I'd seem deaf enough that my classmates would truly understand my need for all those school accommodations, rather than silently judge and question me. Because right now, they know I'm not hearing, but I don't fit their expectations of deafness either. It's a strange realm here in the middle. Since I'm overdue for a new set of hearing aids, Miss Shelley gets out the supplies to create ear mold impressions. I sit still as she squeezes cold pink goo into each ear. In a few weeks, I'll come get the molds and processes when they are ready and assembled. It will take wearing them a while for my brain to adjust to the latest technology and for the world around me to sound like I'm used to. I'm not ashamed of my disability or anything like that. What bothers me is trying to fit into the hearing world, that I'm constantly the odd one out, the one who always has to explain or adjust. I can think of one place where I didn't feel this way. Grey Wolf, a summer camp for the deaf and blind. I stopped going after 8th grade, since leaving for an entire summer didn't really fit into my plans once high school began. But it was a unique place where I didn't have to explain my hearing loss to anyone. And it was my introduction to sign language and deaf culture. I'm starting to really miss it. That is the end of chapter 1. I'm liking it so far. I think it's really good. Alrighty. So, stay tuned for when I upload the next chapter of Give Me a Sign. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Pinned giveaway on my Instagram. The entries for that close on July the 4th, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Follow my Instagram for updates on when I upload videos both to this channel and the Kids Club channel. And really hoping that you're enjoying the story so far, and stay tuned for the next chapter. Alright, bye guys.